Yay! I think I'm live. I am going to look for myself on Facebook. And then hopefully I can find myself. Let me see. Oh, there I am. And I think it works. Yes, I think it does. And I'm 2 minutes early, but I'm super excited. So I thought that I would just start. And I am going to make I have this 6x8 pocket page, what do you call it? A pocket page cover. And I want to make this into a mixed media tag. And I thought it was fun to do that in a live. So I hope I can see the comments. Let's put this aside. So many stuff on my desk already. So let's just start. I'm going to cut my pocket page. I'm going to cut off the bottom because I only want one piece of this. So my tag will be 4 inches by 6 because this will hold a Project Life card that is 4 by 6. And I'm going to cut, so now I can seal this top side, or I can leave it open and add something, but I'm going to fill it and use my fuse tool. But first I want to I have this stamp set. And I'm going to use this one, I think, or this. Oh my gosh, they're both adorable. I'm going to use this because it's beautiful weather and it's summer, so let's use this one. I have my ink, and I used to have, and I have a stamping block. And I'm going to color this in, I think either with pencils or with watercolor. And I always stamp 2, so if I mess one up, I have a backup. Oh, like that one, it's not okay. But the middle one is good. So let's take this. And then I want to use the big stamp. Let's put this back. I love this one. So we're going to, my stamping block is too small. I need a bigger one. So I want to thank you all for joining me. And I really hope that you like this video. And are you crafting now too, or are you doing something else? Would love to know what you're up to. Oh, I'm always having such a hard time with this. That's okay. And this is probably just my ink because I think it's near its end. So let's do it into it. Oh, I can see comments. Hi Cass, hi Tracy, hi Dawn. Thank you so much for joining. I'm super excited. So this is better. Okay, so we are going to start with the stems because that has to dry, and then we can move to the pocket. So let's put this aside. Okay, or not. And for the shrink foil, I am going to use my pit pens. And I only want to add some details of colors, so not everything. Hello everyone, hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining. I'm super excited and kind of nervous to be live. But I'm excited and I really hope that you will like it. And for this I am using the pit pens. And then for the little stamp, which we are not going to shrink, I think I'm going to add watercolors. So for this, I just want to add a few colors, details. And I'm not going to color in the whole thing, the whole stamp, because we are going to add this as an embellishment. Thank you, Dawn. Hot and mothered. Oh no. Are you still working or are you free now? Because it is 7 p.m. In Holland. I hope you're free to do some crafting. I have one more week of work left. And then I have vacation, almost 4 weeks. So I cannot wait. Okay, so let me put this aside. And I'm so, oh, some housework. Well done. I was planning to go to the US by myself for the first time. So I was really nervous but excited. But then America still doesn't allow tourists due to COVID. So I'm not going away. And my children already have vacation, so they're with me now. And we are going on day trips. So we have been going to the outside swimming pool because it was really hot the last couple of days. And we went to the zoo, and we're going to Nemo, that's in Amsterdam. It's kind of like a scientific museum for children, so they can do all the experiments themselves. So we're just doing fun things together. That's brave, I know, Dawn. And I'm sad that it doesn't happen, but I'm totally okay because it's 13 hours on a plane, and the idea made me really scared. So there's always next year. Oh, Suzanne, no problems at all. I'm just starting and I am fighting with the plastic. So first we are going to shrink this stem. So we can add that to our as an embellishment. So I have we're just waiting for the plastic to melt, and it shrinks like 7 times its size, so even if you want to do a little project but still want to use the stems like I do, this is a perfect solution to use them. So that's done. And I'm immediately going to put my fuse tool in the power. Look how small it is. Isn't it cute? I think it's adorable. And we have just added, just added a tiny few spots of color. Thank you. I love the plastic. It's got, I think it's really old, but it's still so fun to use. So let's color this cutie. So I have my watercolors here and some water, and I have everything here. That's paper and a teeny tiny brush. So I wanted to go with the yellow and orange colors. And we're just going to watercolor this tiny friend in. And I am having a really hard time chatting and doing stuff. So I'm so sorry if I forget to talk. I think this one is adorable. And if you are using watercolors and you want to add another layer, just make sure that the first one is dry so you can layer them on top of each other. And you don't have to, but then colors, they will blend. And that's a really cool technique to use if you want to do like a wet on wet technique. For this I want to try and leave the color separate. I'm sorry, I can hear my children downstairs. And I told them they had to be kind of quiet. Oh, Sue, thank you. And these are some different colors together. Like, it's not one set. I might have a watercolor obsession, and I will deny saying that ever out loud, but I think I do. And so just adding, oh, that was a bit much. So perhaps we can add a second layer, just a teeny tiny bit of pink. I love pink. And I'm going to leave this to dry before I cut it out. So now for the next part. I have the, I have this, and I have some very summery sequins. So this will be the filling. of this tag. And just some yellow. I love. Oh, I know, Dawn. Dusk pink is beautiful. And it really depends. It really depends on my mood. Because if you ask me what my favorite color is, it really depends on on the day or my mood. Where did I leave? Oh yeah. And I'm leaving my paper underneath this because this pink desktopper doesn't like heat, and I hope it is already hot enough. I think it is. Or not. And usually if I use my fuse tool, I would let it preheat for at least 10 minutes. So I know I should probably leave it on longer, but then I can't continue. So right now I'm just being, I don't know, what's the English word? I know better, but I still try it. Oh, come on. Okay, well, it must be stuck now because it's really hot now. Yes. So this can cool. And it's closed. So the sequins are not going anywhere. Right, Claire? I should know better. Okay, so we have this one, and the house is now just as big as the bird. So I'm going to cut out the bird. And then I'm just going to make a teeny tiny cluster on the pocket page. Oh, on the pocket page, on the page protector. I think I do the same. I know, Dawn. And I think it's mostly because I'm live, because I know otherwise you just have to wait and watch me do nothing. Well, and technically I could have cut this out before. Well, anyway, it's stuck now. And I watched the last live from Julia with the Copic markers, and I really am debating if I should start a collection of Copic markers. I think my husband will probably have a heart attack if I tell him that I want markers. Oh well. Oh, isn't this good? I love this color combination with, it's so happy and summery. Well, you should, Dawn. Just make a tag. And it's really fun. And now I've closed it, but it would be really fun to make it a birthday card, you know, and then add some money and then close it. And then it can be a birthday present. Well, they do have to cut it open, of course, to get the money out, but let's pretend there's money in there now. So we can make a card instead of a shaker card instead of a regular paper card. So I think it's adorable. I've got Copics and love them. I only... Oh my gosh, Don, that's so many. Oh, and I just bought the Deco brush markers. They have liquid acrylic paint in them. And I'm in love with them. And now I am really practicing my hand lettering. And that's not working out so far. But I've only got 9. Oh, Sue, you don't want to know. There's like a gazillion. Yay, Tracy. Oh, a set of skin colors. That's really good. No, Claire, you won't forget how to make this. You got this. Okay, so I'm going to... I want to make the cluster on here. So I have... Well, I used to have... Oh, yes. I'm going... This is a watercolor ground. And what it does is that it makes almost every surface suitable for watercolor. So I'm just going to add a little bit, well, not a little bit, but, and I want the edges to be spread out. So then I can use my watercolors on this plastic. And if you would not add, and I mean, you could use gesso, but there's plastic in gesso, and watercolors and plastic just, well, don't really work well together. Hobby may have hard. Oh, Don, never tell them what things cost. Never. Like, I don't. And I mean, he doesn't ask, so it's not like I'm lying. It's just I'm not telling him everything because, well, I think he would die if he knows how much everything costs. Oh, yay, Tracy, a few... Well, they're not that expensive. I have mine for quite a while, so I don't really know. I know, I've been a little sneaky. I think we all are. I think we all do the same thing, like being kind of sneaky. Okay, so this has to dry, and of course I cannot use my heat tool on the plastic because it will melt. So this has to dry naturally, and we're going to make the cluster on this. So we can do a little bit of mixed media, and then this little stamp. I'm sorry. So I have this, oh, how do you call this in English? Measuring tape. I have a measuring tape. I bought the ones John Lookwood was demoing last week, told me. Oops. Oh, Noreen. Right on. And I mean, in Holland they really don't have that much sale, but he doesn't know. I know, the markers are expensive, and they are, well, I have never seen them on sale. And I think that's why it's a good thing. Because if I think then I'm less tempted to buy them. And I am having like such a hard time choosing, like with what colors do you start? Like, do you start with just a basic set with the primary colors, or like skin tones, or and I like them all, so I have no idea what to choose. But maybe that's just me. I'm sorry, things fell on the ground. Okay, I'm going to add a tiny bit of paper. And this is just plain colored cardstock, like nothing really special. But I want to make my cluster on here. And it would be fun to use my sewing machine, but let's not. I'm not sure if I want to add the black side or the white side on top, so we will see that as we go along. I wish, oh Claire, I know I cannot afford to. I saw the complete collection and there were like almost 1900 euros to buy the complete collection. Like that's 2000 euros on markers. Like that's, oh my gosh. I think I need a second job just for my craft supplies. Well, and to be honest, you know, if you have to save up and buy a little bit every time, then it will make you more appreciative and, you know, about the things that you have. I was friendly with most showmakers and my father-in-law bought me, so. Oh wow, that's an amazing gift, Dawn. I'm still not sure what the difference is between the chow and the normal. Is that the size that they are kind of rounder, or is there another difference? Because I honestly don't know. This is a piece of sari linen. And I'm not sure if I want to use this. I think I like this one because it has some different colors. Yeah, I like this one. Holds less ink to the sketch other. Holds less ink to the... Okay, thank you, Dawn. I didn't know that. Perhaps we could use them both. And I'm just going to try and build up my cluster and then staple it together or glue it together. I'm not sewing now because that would make so much noise. Thank you, Claire. I love the sari. They're so versatile. I think I'm going to put this over here and then perhaps we can add a little green paper. Hold on. Because there's also green in the sequence, so perhaps we can use this as a little layer for... Okay, so again I want to add a black line. So this can go under here, and then I was so happy with this, but now I'm not sure which one to use. I think I like the bird. Okay, we'll keep that one for later. And I have these wooden, I think they're too big. I think if I'm going to, yeah. Well, we could add, then it's just a bigger cloth. I kind of like this behind there. Okay. Decisions. I'm just going to add a little bit more of this. And because it's a thin layer, it will dry really quickly. And that will give us some time to color this wheel. Let's do gold. Thank you, Dawn. Yes, Claire, that's what I was thinking. But I haven't made a little hole in there. So we could do another in a few and then make the hole. So we can use it and it can dangle. Okay, I probably should use gesso first. So, tiny bit. Oh, I say a tiny bit, but that was like a big blob. And we can use the heat tool for this. But I am just going to add the gesso so I know that the golden acrylic will be better visible. I'm so sorry, some English words. So and I don't mind that you see some of the wood peeking through. So we are going to dry the gesso. Hi, Julia. How are you? I'm making a shaker pocket, and I just figured that it would be a fun card if you add some money in there and then give it as a birthday gift or something. Oh. I have just added sequins, no money. Oh, thank you. And we have already discussed that we are allowed to buy the Copic markers, thanks to you, of course, and that we will not tell our partners the actual prices. I know he will have a heart attack. So the watercolor ground is almost dry, so we can start working on the background. And I know, and I think that's just me, but if you add too much of the paint and you dry it with the heat tool, it boils. I love the boiling, the texture that it gives. Oh, Kashi, I hope I pronounce your name correct. I know, I have a lot of different creative hobbies as well. But that's okay. I mean, that's why it's the hobby. Oh, stupid hair. So I'm gluing the two layers together. And I have some thread. Is it? Yes. That's too much. Just a few strings because it's a small stem. So you don't need as much. Katie, okay. I love it when, I know Claire, me too. I remember that I did a page in one of my art journals and I tried to add as many layers of paint as I could, and then each time, you know, heating them too much. And there was there were so many textures on that page. It was, I liked it. Okay, so we're sticking our little friend down. Oh, you can refill the chow ones. I did not know that. Please, more shaker. Thank you, Katie. Okay, so the watercolor ground was not dry, almost as good as dry. So we can start on our background. And I need a brush. And I want a bigger brush than I used earlier. So let's just go with the happy colors. I'm just adding some water because watercolor really loves water and it will run better. And I do want to use the orange again, so that all the colors that we have used in the stem are coming back in the background. Now, the watercolor ground makes, look, if I want to do the watercolor on just plastic, you see nothing is happening and you can just wipe it off. But the watercolor ground makes sure that it sticks, kind of like gesso. You can refill all your Copic markers I've bought now. Sketch marker. Oh, thank you, Julia. Yeah, I asked the question because I honestly had no idea what the difference was. Well, it's good to know. So for a beginner like me, I should be able to be fine with the chow, since they're a bit smaller, I think. Okay, so now this layer has to dry, but it will dry relatively quick. Look, Julia, I made this the first round, but because it's too big for my cluster, I'm going to make another one, and so we can make it like a little hanger. So let's do this one. Yes. So now that I have all these bright colors, let's just go with the orange. And this is already really bright. And because you will shrink it, it will intensify the color. So I'm going over it with a dry brush. And you have to be kind of quick because it will dry and then it's permanent. But now I have taken off some of the color. And it is not as, well, it will be intense still, but less intense than if you would leave it on. And you might think that I'm taking off a lot, but we're not. You can also do this with a Q-tip, but of course I don't have them here, so that's why we're using a brush. And just repeat this with the yellow. And of course the pink and oops, pink and green. Taking off the excess. Oh my gosh, Julia, do you have to refill your Copics every week? Wow, I can only imagine how much you use them if you have to refill them every week. That's amazing. Oh, I thought if you color your markers out in a week and they're empty, like, oh my gosh. I think that must be a record then. Okay, so we are going to cut this out again. First, let's make a little hole so it can hang. And this might seem like a really big hole now, but this is going to be such a cute teeny tiny stamp. So the hole will shrink as well. last bit. So we're heating this now, and then we can add it as a charm. Look, do you see still that I have removed a lot of color, but it's still really, let me see, there's a delay, so I hope you can see it now, and that it's sharp, but it's still really bright. It is, Julia, it is from Sizzix. And I don't remember the name, but it's really handy. Okay, so it's not completely dry yet. And of course I cannot use the heat tool. I'm going to get the eyelets. So we can, let's go with the green. No, pink, pink. Thank you so much. Yep, one is enough. So let's, oh, everything is falling. So adding the eyelet, and then let's make a charm. Oh, Tracy, shh, don't tell anyone. Oh. Okay, this really has to dry so we can keep going. Yeah, and I'm trying really quickly to get everything that I need to make this hang. So, and I think I want to have the, we can add some others. See, now I have all this stuff here, like the, oh. Okay, we're going to add only one thing. One thing. So this has to move. And I'm going to put it on the same ring. And I want to add it with the little sari linen. So I'm going to take this and make it a small and of course you can do this with a word stem. And then shrink the words and put it on there. Okay, hold on, I have to, it has to be this way. So this has to be, tie a little knot. I just really, all these colors make me so happy. And I know you're all waiting for me to tie the knot and like, hurry up, tie the knot. Oh, I think it's cute. Oh, thank you, Clara, so much. I hope you have a wonderful evening. And thank you for your kind words. And the watercolor isn't dry, so my ink is not taken completely and it will run, which I like. If you don't like this, then you really should completely wait until the watercolor is dry. But I kind of like that the stamping image is not perfect. So I have my black Posca pen here, and I only want it's and of course the pink. And the yellow. And I know that it's not good for your I know, Julia, I love to splatter, but I know it's not. Poscas don't really like to get hit with a scissor. But that's really pretty much the only thing that I'm using them for, so I figured it's okay. So this has to dry. And this is a tiny stamp that says home is where the heart is. And this is the same green paper that we used for the cluster. Oh, I'm not sure this is working because okay. Yes. And then we can layer it on top of a yellow paper, so all the colors will come back. And I'm using my guillotine because I cannot cut a straight line if my life depended on it. So, home is where the heart is. I love that quote. And I'm not quite sure if I want to add it on top of our cluster or on the left side. So we will just have to see what we like better. So. What do you think? Should I put it? I think I kind of like it here. We could also add it to this, but I'm not, then it will dangle over it. So I think I'm going to put it here. With some of this. Oh, thank you, Dawn. It would have been funny to edit the money. So, I think it's done. Yay! Okay, let me see if I can hold it up for the camera. And I will make good photos tomorrow, of course, but it is kind of dark outside. So when it's daylight, I will make photos. So yeah, I think this is it. I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you all so much. And I really had a good time. I hope you liked the video and hope to see you all soon. Bye.